Hello everyone, Thomas Fleming here. Well, as we found from my live shot that I shot here earlier, I've got enough signal here, so I guess I'm going to have to set up schedule a live over the next week where I can try to answer questions, but I got to use my laptop. I can't use my phone because the phone's too small. I can't see the stuff on the screen. All I can do is turn on the video and talk and then shut it off. All right. The world is slowly being conditioned and they have no idea. I've got a science background. In fact, I started off as a physics major going to school. I've taken calculus, physics classes in college. Not easy. I spent 2 hours on a problem one time, got the answer wrong, and got an A on it. I knew the process. I made a math error. All of our physics at that level, all the tests that we took were open book. He said, if you don't know the process by now, the book is not going to help you, but you may forget a formula. So the book was there for us to remember formulas. And he said, you're going to keep a reference book with you for the rest of your career to look these up. Formulas. God is consistent. He's so consistent that they can make a formula for describing the universe. Now, they may come up with an idea, like the Big Bang, and then come back and say, well, maybe that's not what happened. But it's all based on science, and science is based on speculation, guesses. Very few things in life can be put down as something that's absolute. I mean, you try to calculate the area of a circle. You've got to use pi for that. Pi is a never-ending number. It never has a culmination. It goes to infinity. So there's the square root of 2. Let's see who's paying attention. That means you can't deal with the functions of the universe without getting into infinity. They've recently come up with something new. As if there is anything new. But they were calculating the mass of the universe. Calculating how many stars are out there and how many galaxies are out there and how many stars are in each galaxy. Impossible. But they guess. They say, well, if an average galaxy has, 6 trillion stars, then every time we see a galaxy, we're going to give it 6 trillion star count. Not a really good way of doing this, but that's all they can do. When you look up in the sky, the majority of the stars that you see are not stars. They're galaxies. There are more galaxies visible than stars. And each galaxy has a lot of stars in it. You can see our Milky Way because we're on a side. When you look up, that's that big white band of stars that goes around us. We're out in it's a spiral galaxy, and we're out in one of the legs, and we're looking back towards the center one direction, and we're looking out into space on the other side. God created all this, but they tried to calculate the mass of the known universe. And they're calculating, and this is some heavy-duty science. I didn't get to this level, so I have to take their word for it. But they're saying these things are flying apart at a certain speed. And their math didn't balance out. This universe has to be balanced. Everything has to, It's called the yin and the yang. I mean, we've got, everything has to balance. If it's not balanced, then something's not right. They're saying there's not enough mass. So then they came up with something new. They called it dark matter. It's out there, we just can't see it. Well, I'm going to look at Colossians 1:16. Talking about Christ and God, and he goes in 15, he is the image of the invisible God. That's Christ. The firstborn over all creation. That's right, everything we see. We've got Genesis to back that up, but it's in summary. For by him all things were created that are in the heaven and that are on the earth. Explaining it even further, all things were created by God. Visible and invisible. You see, they would have known dark matter existed if they'd just read the Bible. Well, they're just now learning it, but they're still a long ways away from understanding what he created and how he did it with just his word, spoken word. Now, someone could argue, well, maybe his spoken word was bang, and the universe happened, and that's called the Big Bang. Well, whatever caused it, God did it. How he did it, I don't think we would understand. But our universe has to be balanced. You can't do things against the laws of this universe. I keep saying this all the time. God does not have a magic wand. He doesn't flick it, swish and flick. He doesn't do that. Now, he can say it into existence. He can think it into existence, but he doesn't use a magic wand. That's a visual aid for those that can't grasp that people can use their minds to create things. God can do that. And we've got some of his ability, but we don't know how to use it, and he doesn't want us to use it unless there's a reason for it. We are not gods. We are tools. We are servants of the big God. But if Jesus could do it, we can do it. We could walk on water. Now, how did he do it? I don't know. Was that an image of him that they saw? He walked into the boat eventually, so probably not. Was there a sandbar there? Well, Peter went out and walked on it for a little while and then sank. Maybe a whole school of fish came out there and supported him. We don't know. Science could answer it if we knew how he did it, but we don't. You don't have to know. He did it. We don't have to know how he created the universe, but he did. Now, what our world is turning into now is a non-godly created universe. You look at the current trend in superheroes. They've discovered the multiverse. You can find a universe out there that you can do anything you want in. You just have to keep looking till you find it. Satan's saying the universe isn't all God's and it's created by him and controlled by him. There's another universe out there that he doesn't own and run, and I'm going to take that over. It's a lie. God created our universe. He didn't create a multiverse, but that's the way they're building this in. That's why they're bringing in, superheroes. They've all got different gifts, but they're out there so that somebody can find something that's powerful, teaching us that we can be powerful if we believe. Powerful if God wills it. No matter what we do, if we exhibit some kind of power, the source of that power is God. And he doesn't give it out because we demand it. He gives it out because he has a purpose. But the world is trying to change that, saying that if you just think positively enough, you can walk through walls, or you can do something else. It's all a lie. And it started back, I remember watching some cartoons earlier on, or I remember watching like Superman. He could walk through walls, or just bust through them, or fly. Things that are possible through God's skills, but not through an individual. But they're trying to give us ideas that we can become God. And there are religions that teach that. If you just focus well and you just do all these steps that we set up, you will become like God. Does that sound like Satan? Of course it does. That's where it comes from. So, be careful. We're told that whatever we think, we've done. If you think somebody should be killed, you've killed them. If you play video games and you're shooting up all these people all the time, you're programming your mind to kill people. Now, unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of games where you can walk around and be Jesus. That's what we need, people that can pretend to be him in a game and then start practicing what he's taught us here in this book. I do have solitaire on my computer. I don't think I'm worried about flipping cards causing a problem, but maybe. It's a distraction, if nothing more. So that's what I use it for. I do have a Bible trivia on here. I think I've played it for like a week and I've missed 3 questions. Most of them have to do with ritual that I'm not familiar with. Some of it appeared to be Catholic ritual that I don't know, because I only went there for a little while when my mother was trying to find some place to put me. Let's take a look at Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Just look around. You can see everything that he's done. You look at a tree. God created that tree. Now, he may not have specifically created that one, but he created its, ancestor. And he created a world that would replace the old with the new. It includes people, so that the world stays relatively young looking. The firmament shows his handiwork. Day unto day utters speech, and night into night reveals knowledge. Keep studying it, but I gave up on my physics career because I figured out that we weren't going to figure it out. You understand what I mean? God doesn't want us to know how he did things. It's not important. We're not gods. We would not know how to use it. And we shouldn't. We cannot be God. Now we can hang out with him. That's cool. Adam and Eve hung out with him before they screwed up. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to talking to Jesus in person and all the other people that we know from the Bible. Are they going to know who they were? I don't know. I just still look forward to it, because we're told that heaven is far better than anything else God has ever created. Okay, now I'm going to turn to Hebrews 11:3. Well, I'm just going to start at 11 because this is familiar territory. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good testimony. God liked the elders, Abraham and all the rest, because they had faith. By faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, and so that the things which are seen were not made of things which were visible. He made everything out of things that were invisible. We know that God set everything up. Nothing that happens on this planet works off of magic. God uses the laws of the universe to do everything. He doesn't create a law just so he can break it. You know, we watched Charlton Heston split the sea for them to cross. So you see the walls on either side with water falling down, but a big wall of water with a gap down the middle. And 1 million plus people are supposed to walk across that. And they had carts and things with wheels that would dig into the sand. I don't think so. It's probably a rocky bottom of the bay there. And it was probably, like I said, probably, because it sounds just like a tsunami, an earthquake out in the Mediterranean sucked all the water out, just like a normal tsunami does. And when the Egyptian army came around, it came right rushing back in, and all that power killed them all. He would have used natural resources for that. He didn't part the sea. Now, I've been to Universal Studios, and I've ridden the ride where you go down into the area, and they drain it all out, and you see the water flowing over the side, and it looks really cool. But that's not how God did it. God would have used all the laws that he created. He doesn't have to use magic, because magic means that something else is out there controlling things. And you're just able to, because of your skill, control that other force that's out there. That's our fake media again. Now, Harry Potter might be fun to watch, but it's got deadly ramifications if you buy into that stuff. That's the key. You cannot be a god and swish and flick and make things happen. God can do it, and he may give you the ability to use one of his skills at some point in time, but there's going to be a reason for it. And typically, there's no need for him to do that. All the miracles that we saw during the time of Jesus were to help get the movement going. Back to physics again, the law of inertia. The body will tend to be at rest unless acted upon by another body. You want to get something going fast? You put a rocket under it, and it'll move fast. The rocket is just an explosion of expanding gases that are pushing in all directions, and then you funnel it into one direction. And it gives an equal and opposite reaction. God's laws are very consistent. Individually, we can't travel faster than the speed of light. Yeah, we see things that apparently are traveling, but they're traveling in relationship to something else that they're traveling with. But we can't go faster than the speed of light because of the way God designed the universe. If you have a lump of clay floating in space, and it's just floating, it's not going anywhere, but you want to accelerate it. So as it goes by, you throw another lump of clay at it. Boom. And now they're both traveling together, but they're traveling faster than the first one. Not faster than the second one that you threw at it, because it's going to take all of its energy and transfer some of it over to the first one. And together they're going to be going faster than the first one. Now you got two lumps of clay going a little bit faster, but now you want them to go faster. You throw another lump of clay at it. But the math you use to calculate that is going to have to update the mass of two pieces of clay. So you got to have a little bit bigger for the third one. And it's going to hit and it's going to stick. And now you got three masses going faster than the first one was. Not maybe as fast as the second, depends on how fast you decide you want to throw them. But the bottom line is, it gets heavier and heavier the more you put energy into it. And eventually it gets so heavy that you can't move it. That's why we haven't been able to accelerate anything faster than the speed of light. Now, shows like Star Trek, which I love to be a part of, had some of the science there. You have to warp space. It's space that restricts it. Now, how is it? We have no idea. We don't have enough knowledge to come up with that. And we're not going to. God doesn't need us to have that. We don't need to go faster than the speed of light. All we're going to do is run off into an empty universe, and I believe it is empty. God is as big and powerful as it is, created everything we see just to put us on this planet. Yeah, that's God. He can do that. It may not make sense to us as humans, but how big is God? Well, he has to be bigger than our universe to be able to create it. So he can do what he wants. We may be living inside of, drop of water. Horton hears a who, We don't know what this universe outside of what we can see looks like. There are things that our science can't even reconcile in our known universe, let alone outside. And yet God created everything. He always follows the laws. He follows the guidelines that he puts down. That's why Christ had to be sacrificed and blood was spilt, because that was the law that he set down. If he didn't do that, we'd still be under sin. We still sin, but God doesn't have to know about it. Christ won't tell him. He throws him into the deepest ocean if we confess him. Now, all of our past sins, gone. The thief on the cross, gone. And he didn't have to be baptized. He didn't have to do any of the other rituals that we create. He didn't have communion. The thief on the cross left immediately upon becoming a Christian without doing anything. Now his service was to us for observing that, of seeing that that's all he had to do, is believe and have faith in Jesus, that he saved him. His sins are gone. And all he did was say, remember me where you're going. Because he knew there was a place to go after death. A good place and a bad place. He didn't have to fully understand it. They wouldn't have understood it back then. He just knew this was a godly person, and he wanted to go with him. The simplest of confessions of faith. But faith is what saved him. So we're going to get some pretty bad stuff coming here soon. I can't really tell you what's coming. We don't know. We're told not to be distracted by it. Jesus told us not to be distracted by it. Wars and rumors of wars, all the other stuff. Don't be afraid. These things have to happen, but the end is not yet. Now, he was talking about his coming. So where are we on the timeline? Well, he hasn't come yet, or we'd know it. So we have the full 7 years, plus some up front. Everything is being set up right now to go into the tribulation. I think we're a key, obviously, because if we're gone with the rapture up front, it's going to change the world. It will give Satan his free rein to do what he wants to do. Satan is God's tool, his strong arm, because God can only love. Satan is his tool. I've always asked God all my life, why have you allowed all these things? The answer is very simple. Because people want whatever they get. If they go to hell, they want to go to hell. Now, they may be believing a lie, but they could research it. They could look into it. They could read the Bible. We have people that are sitting on the fence. They're not really sure. We got to convince them because they're making a lifetime mistake. But people do it all the time. Every day, people do it all the time. I'd love to be able to talk more about the things going on in the world and the news right now, but I can't while I'm on YouTube. I'm still having trouble figuring out how to get YouTube videos over to Rumble. It may just be that as I turn down the volume on YouTube and turn up the volume on Rumble, I gotta switch. Maybe if I put it on Rumble first, I can put it back on YouTube. I don't know. Rumble seems to be fighting it. There's probably something I've missed reading somewhere. Trying to learn a new system is not easy. Telegram is not up and running fully because I don't have enough of you members over there. Keep working on it. I will eventually go away with this channel. I'm happy to keep here and keep doing these daily videos forever if that's what it needs. But I can see the future because I have a guideline. I have a ruler to measure what's happening. I'm also going to eventually be doing away with PayPal. Same reason. Thank you for the recent contribution. But I'm going to have to get rid of that too because they can also fine you. And these fines have an application. It's called extra stupid government. They're going to find ways because of that extra stupid government, the acronym, to tell you you're wrong, and then they can fine you. So that's coming. Every year we keep looking and thinking, well, this has got to be it. It can't get any worse. Wrong. It can get worse. Now, I'm fine. I hope you are too. I mean, we're all dealing with something. The people that are dealing with illnesses, that's the problem that my heart goes out to more than anything because we should be in good shape as humans. But a lot of times our bodies are in bad shape because we didn't take care of them. And apparently there's no warranty, there's only a swap. We get a new body for the old one. But not until the end. Not until we go to heaven to be with Jesus. That's when we get our new body. That doesn't mean we all should be looking forward to dying. But when our time comes, we get a new body. Because we can't live in this body in heaven. Wherever it is, we don't know. And whatever it is, and whatever it looks like, we don't know. We have some pictures, but I don't visualize, so painting me a picture doesn't do me any good. All right. Science would completely confirm everything that God has done if we understood science, if we knew all the answers. We don't. At one point in time, they thought the earth was flat. And they were killing people. It was blasphemy to say anything about the universe that God created. They believed that it was flat, and if you say it's round, you're blaspheming against God's word. Where'd they get that from? I don't know. Well, Satan, obviously, but at one point in time, before Galileo, they thought the earth was the center of the universe. That was their science. And he was in trouble with the church by saying it was round. Science can adapt. Science can change. God's laws don't. So if science and God's laws don't mesh up together, one of them is wrong. Guess which one? Science will have to change. So if it's not fitting, science has made an incorrect conclusion. God always follows his rules, his laws, anything he sets down. If he has a covenant, it's there forever. He might replace one covenant with another one, but he doesn't change. Jesus died because he had to follow his rules, his own rules. He was God. He didn't have to follow them, but then we couldn't trust him. He follows his rules. All right. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless.